Hi everyone. Today podcast on about two very good stories. It will really make you curious to know more about them. The theme is made of Karla, Itzel, Sharon and Alin. We will start with iconic great I don't know how to describe it story. Is the Claire's tale. Hi Karla, let's start with you. So I will continue with the wife of the bad guy. And the tale concerns a king accused of rape, whose life shall be spared if in 1 year they discover what woman most desire. He eventually turns to an ugly old witch who promises in the answer that will save his life if he will do the first thing she asks of him. The answer that is mastery or sovereignty over men that woman decide is as it in court, and the witch then demands that the Ming marry her. In bed, she asks him if he would wish her only the fatful, beautiful, and fightless. He insists the shoes must be hers. This question of her mastery restores his child beauty and they live happily ever after. It's a very interesting story. Who does start? Who does it end? And how that ends where they have its seven aim.
Thanks, Alin. So the second story I am going to tell you about is called The Correct Tale. The story starts in Italy, where a king named Walter ruled over the land. He was happy and free, but his people wanted him to ensure an heir to the throne. One day, a group of lords came to ask him to take a wife. Walter agreed and said the lords could choose the wedding day. And he will choose his bride. The day of the wedding is fast approaching. There is a poor man, Janicola, who has a daughter Griselda, who lives near the palace. Walter has seen her in passing and asks Janicola permission to marry her. He agrees. Walter then asks Griselda and tells her that if they marry, she must promise to obey him always. She agrees. They marry and soon have a daughter. The king decides to test his wife's loyalty. He tells her that someone is going to come and take the daughter, and he hopes this doesn't change her love for him. She assures him it will not. So right now, a courier comes and takes the child and says nothing. 4 years later, they have a son. Walter decides to test his wife again and tells her the son will also be taken. Again, she agrees and says nothing as he is taken. Years later, when the children are older, Walter decides one more test. He forges a church document saying that he is free to marry another woman. He shows Griselda, who accepts sadly. She returns to her father's home. He orders his children walk back from Bologna, where they are staying with his sister. Walter will pretend to marry his daughter. Griselda helps with the preparation, with no idea the girl she is helping is her own. Walter confesses to her, saying that these are her children. He praises how she handled and his test, and they lived the rest of their lives happily. When Walter died, his son takes the throne.
These two stories don't seem to have much in common, but if we think about it, they both deal with the main theme of marriage. But this is seen from two different points of view. In The Wife of Bath, the female point of view is approached, while in The Clerk's Tale, the male point of view is given. As seen in The Wife of Bath, the women are the ones in control of the story, who decides to give a second chance to the knight, and the witch who helps him. In addition to this, he implies in his narrative that what women want most is to have control over their partners, as we see later on, when the knight and the witch get married. It is that women can have the opportunity to make decisions. In this story, you can even see some touches of feminism, which for the Middle Age was very rare to see. In The Clerk's Tale is approached in a more masculine way, in which he implies that women should always be pure, faithful, and should not protest to their husbands. As, as seen with Walter, who makes his wife give him their children to supposedly kill them in order to prove his loyalty, and as if that were not enough, he tells that he is going to divorce her and he's going to marry with a younger woman, and yet she accepts even to groom her. And finally, he realized that his wife is loyal to him after all this time and tells her the truth. Both stories have positive and negative aspects, but only if they are judged with a contemporary eye. For the historical context of these stories must also be taken into account, as they were set in the Middle Age and the way the marriage and women are viewed as mainly religious. I also believe that these stories show the point of view of those who tells the story, which are the divorced woman and the clerk. And that will be all for our podcast. See you in another edition. Bye!